Hello again everybody, this is Amorgin and you're very welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Fleet Command. So guys, I finally got the Botany Bay. It's completed that mission and I'm going to do a bit of a long playthrough here of the first set of missions, the first set of systems that we unlock when we go into Augment faction space. So I've got some can tokens there. That place is looking a wee bit empty now and the Botany Bay is gone from it. And we're going to look at the missions that are involved in this. So the first one there is retrofit, build the Botany Bay. And now we have to bring the augments to Rachel and get these systems unlocked. So we send this ship on its way to Rachel. Now I'm going to do this in this style, guys, just so that people can follow it. A lot of people are commenting there, and those last couple of videos have got an awful lot of traffic. A lot of people looking about how to do these missions and a bit of a walkthrough on them, and people are still coming back after I've done those last missions and saying, how do I get this and how do I get that? So I'm going to do this in a little bit more detail, guys. It's a bit of a long one, but I'm going to go through it step by step. So there's the Botany Bay, and the first question I was asking myself here is it worth upgrading? Do I work on this now? I don't have the 2-star survey parts, so instead of going out and farming them or spending latinum on that, I'm going to use my other mining ships. I'm going to equip the jellyfish just for, like I said in previous videos, for transit, for the extra speed in warp. And I'm going to put Hadley on the bridge to add to that. Now one of your officers, one of your mining officers will add to that if the cargo hold is empty as well. So if you want to get maximum warp speed out of that, then that would be the way to go. But I'm happy enough with Hadley there and an explorer like the jellyfish to just quickly nip around these systems. So I'm not going to upgrade the Botany Bay. I'm going to use my envoys and possibly my ECS Horizon for mining this corrupted data when we eventually get in there. So the advice to you guys, if you have the 2-star parts and you're not working on an envoy at the minute, then sure enough, go ahead if you have the resources and upgrade the Botany Bay for as far as you can go. I believe that when it gets to tier 3, it really does start to improve the rate at which you can mine that corrupted data. But until tier 3, I don't think that it's that effective. But some of you guys can leave your comments below on that and discuss around what ships are most effective for mining this corrupted data. So we'll finish this bit off, get into this augment space and see what it is all about. Now, I want to apologize to people for the last video that the sound was a bit messed up. I think I fixed it. Hopefully this audio that I'm doing is going to be in both speakers. The last one was one-sided, I think. So you guys let me know if this comes out all right. I'll do a wee listen to it back myself. So there's those things unlocked. Also a few whacking tokens and augment points. And we'll get inside this augment space and see what all the fuss is about. So there we go. Outskirts now is flagged as well, but there's collect plutonium for that section. So you can do this in the faction store, of course, guys. Get your plutonium. The recommendation is get as much of it as you can, as often as you can, because it's on a timer and it completes those missions for you. So the next one there will be to get 75 plutonium. So this outskirts mission, and this will be the first system within Augment space that we visit. Level 20 system. You see there, I'm parked not too far away from Augment space, and that jellyfish is flying in there pretty swiftly. And I have 2 mining ships ready to go. Now, there's a debate around this. I said in the last video that there was a tip relating to your faction reputation with the augments, and that Sulaban ships will come after you and kill you when you're in this system. This is what I was being told. So we'll come back to that subject in a little while. Really shout out to Gibbs, one of my alliance mates, is already here. Looks like his Saladin. And a few of the other guys there as well, already mining this corrupted data. We're going to focus on these missions though, that's the purpose of the video. And we'll discuss these various little bits as we're there. So one of the first things I noticed when I come in here, guys, I'm clicking on the corrupted data station. For some reason I'm not able to select the mining node. And what I realized after a little while of clicking about is that it's actually the empty space on the arm coming out of the station you need to be clicking on. So we'll demonstrate that in a wee minute. So we need to go to a Federation base and steal something. We're a little over a minute out from that. Now this mission that's in this is a Federation mission that I haven't done, so it's not relating to the Augment space mission storyline, so ignore that. That's just me being nosy to see what I haven't done in Federation space. So we'll stick out this horizon just to compare mining rates. And let's stick this Augment miner onto the ship. So my presumption here is that my ECS Horizon will have a greater mining rate regardless, so we'll stick him on to the bridge and see what my maximum mining rate will be on this corrupted data. And I'd suggest that once you have Wacky Engage, you should have him available once you have unlocked this section of space, that you put him on your strongest envoy or your Horizon, test them out on your various mining ships and see which of them gives you the greatest rate, and I would suggest going with that as your main corrupted data miner, whilst the others will focus on whatever other resources you would normally mine. That or warships. So for example, if you only have 2 dry docks, one specific for mining, one warship, and you can go out and farm and do whatever with your warship, and then when you're way off to bed and you want to set another bit of mining, set your other envoy or your fortunate or whatever it is onto your second dry dock and send him out when you shield up, go to bed and mine some titanium or G2 or G3. And then those of you, of course, with the 3 dry docks, you have the option of having 2 miners out, for example, and utilising 1 warship, or if you're out farming, 2 warships and 1 dedicated miner in that Augment space. Mess about with it yourselves, guys, and find your own balance, whatever's suited to you. I always like to have 1 ship out mining my G3 for the dailies, so you can see there I'll have G3 ore being mined. That's round the clock if I can hold on to that mine. And the others will alternate between going for titanium, being warships, and now with this corrupted data. Here's a 5-part mission. And not huge distances to travel, thankfully. Okay, so here's our Horizon arriving in this Augment space. I don't know if it's just me. Give me your feedback, guys. What do you think? But is this are these systems much smaller, much more condensed, tighter, smaller areas? It feels like it. Maybe it's because there's so many nodes around. Maybe it's a bit of an illusion, but it feels to me like it's much smaller. And you can see here that I'm clicking on the station and nothing's happening. But if I click on empty space just outside one of the arms of this, or one of these others, you see the guys are just slightly off the edge of these arms. That guy's sitting on an empty mine. But there seems to be plenty of opportunities to mine this corrupted data. It's gone very quiet on our server. I think people are still feeling each other out at the minute with all of this. But there seems to be kind of like an unspoken understanding that we're not attacking each other inside Augment space. And I've heard this being discussed. I haven't actually seen anything. People are acting as though there's some sort of agreement in place that everybody's clear of. I certainly haven't seen with my eyes any agreement. I've seen discussion about an agreement not to attack miners in this space, but I haven't actually seen anything on paper or on Discord or any of this kind of stuff. But it seems to be the etiquette on our server at the moment is that you pass on by, let people mine at these corrupted data stations and leave them generally alone, although there have been a few infringements on that, I believe. I certainly haven't been on the receiving end of it. There's still one or two players like who, you know, they like the sound of their own voice and they're out spouting off stuff and targeting people and accusing people and then playing victim, and you'll always get them kind of people manipulating and trying to twist other players for their own agenda, who will take the game way further than maybe it's meant to be. But generally speaking, the vast majority of the players on our server, I think, are generally leaving each other alone to suss out this new expansion and see what it brings, see how we can make it benefit ourselves. You know, it seems to be working. There seems to be an uneasy peace at the moment, and it's nice to see for a change that rivals can peacefully coexist with this new content. So I'm still not sold, guys, on whether I'm enjoying this or not. If this is there's a lot of this clicking and flicking through these storylines. It's grand, like it's okay, but it's not very engaging. I find myself, from a content creator's point of view, I find myself, I suppose, burdened with having to click through this stuff. I would much rather to have some sort of activity that I could engage in, that I could showcase, rather than wait times traveling between systems, click this, click that, flick through text going on my screen. It's not ideal for trying to present the game and what you enjoy about the game. It's alright when it's on your phone, I suppose, but I'm back to look at the Botany Bay here for a wee second. There's that invite. You see what he does on one of these corrupted data segments. So you can see the blank space just beyond the wee arm out from it, and that's doing 550 an hour. That's 615. That miner that's doing the ore is 7, and that ECS Horizon is over 1300. So ECS Horizon by far, now I know he's got the corrupted data miner on the bridge, but it's by far the more effective mining ship. And that Envoy, which isn't even fully upgraded, is still better than that basic Botany Bay. So given that I don't have the 2-star survey parts, I'm not going to upgrade that just yet, and I'm going to use that Envoy instead. So back to the Centurion. We'll go with the Centurion instead of the jellyfish. Shameless attempt by myself to show off my strongest ship. Nowhere near some of the ships that are on this server, but I like it. So there's there's 4 systems here, guys, to explore, and this mission storyline has taken me down to the bottom one of those 4 that I've unlocked. So now that I've hit level 28 on them dailies, guys, it makes it a little bit more possible for me to get them extra few points. But after a little while, when you get to my level, when all of the nodes inside your station are maxed out or at a high level, it's very, very hard to get those rewards for building and developing your station, because most guys around my level have their station pretty much developed. And it's long build times and long wait times to get them nodes advanced. So it becomes very difficult unless you're about to level up. You can see I've bought the plutonium, 20 common plutonium, and there's a timer on that. So that, of course, if you go back to the other mission that we were looking at, that of course will, when the timer runs down and I can buy more, that will allow me to advance that mission a little bit more. You see Otto and Katie shards. Augment recruit, of course, to be a random amount of shards for those 2 guys. And these ones all then that are grayed out will require that extra little bit of reputation. Okay, so this Centurion's in the system. And there's 2 missions available here. Beneath the Heel and Mind Over Matter. I can't take Beneath the Heel, so we'll take Mind Over Matter. We can see there the little purple circle and some very nice Ultra Recruit tokens. So the little purple circle is Dark Matter, which is then required for advancing missions also. We'll take a look at that in a second too. So I need to complete On the Grapevine for that, so we'll pick that up somewhere in these 4 systems as well. And there's the Dark Matter. So that's how I do this, guys. I'll go into the system, and if there's a mission available in it, I'll generally pick it up, populate all the missions in the system and just run through them. So that corrupted data is coming in at a reasonably decent rate there. So that requires the defeating of some hostiles. Quite low level for this Centurion. Little bit of titanium. And these, of course, will then advance the Hostile Hunter event. Which then, of course, directly relates to building your reputation with this faction. Which then, of course, directly relates to bounty hunters, Sulaban bounty hunters coming after you, and people recommending to get as much of this corrupted data as possible before your Augment faction reputation gets to 2,500. So you'll get rewards. I'll skip this on. You'll get rewards for this faction, and you'll improve your standing with this faction the more of that event that you do. So I plan for a short time just to build up that corrupted data slowly advance through these missions, take my time at it. I know some of you guys are ahead of this, some of you guys are past this, so if you have any views on the way I'm doing this, or how you're doing it, how it differs or how it's similar, then leave your comments below, of course, and join me on Discord if you would like to get into more detailed discussion or explore different ideas or that kind of thing. You'd like to share some screenshots of what you've done or the way things are going on your server, then feel free to join me on the Discord and discuss that. Like, for example, on your server, are they respecting each other's right to mine this corrupted data? And we see upon completion of this mission that you'll also get rewards for that will improve your faction, your Augment faction reputation. So there's no avoiding that as you complete these missions. And I guess what people are recommending is you don't necessarily need to go and buy the Augment faction reputation, which you can do with this corrupted data. And we'll look at that again later on, and I won't be able to do this entire Augment faction space in one video. It would be a very, very long and cumbersome video. But we'll get through this first section of it. I'll do another video then perhaps on the second section. This might come in 3 parts, and like I say, I'll take my time at it. You guys can discuss with me how you've done it, and if my way is not the most efficient, and you guys that haven't caught up with this yet can follow this and interact with the different guys who have different views on how it's done, to find some sort of way to navigate this new Augment faction space yourselves. So I have edited a few of these together, guys, as you can see. Marla being central to this element of the story. Thank you, Ironside. So that's that We Are Better complete. Very civil guy, this can guy, thanking you and having good manners. So again, guys, does anybody really pay attention to some of these things? I don't really pay much attention to the storyline. Vaguely interesting, but it's certainly not the thing that commands my attention. So there you can see, guys, that mission unlocks there to collect 3 dark matter samples once you've completed those other missions. So we're collecting the dark matter as we go along, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Just get that flag by completing certain missions, and then you'll get the dark matter as rewards. Just nipping about these 4 new systems. Wouldn't be in a hurry to unlock the other ones just yet, as I'm taking my time with it, like I say. So Mind Over Matter is the one we're on. There's the Botany Bay for the plutonium, like I said before. So again, that'll just complete when I collect that plutonium in the faction store. And there's the one for the dark matter samples, which are rewards, of course, then from just completing all of the other missions that are available. with a little bit of farming there, I guess I could go and get the 2-star survey parts and upgrade this Botany Bay, and I might do that at a later stage just to suss out at higher tiers how useful it actually is. So these guys have some dark matter which I'm going to steal of them. Wacking's being a bit of a hard-nosed kind of guy here. But I'm not paying for it, so... She is kind of hot though, like... Wacking's a bit of an idiot, but, you know... Okay, so there we go. Thank you very much for your dark matter. And now we're being sent to another system once again. So quite easy to flick through these missions, guys. Locate this and send our ship down here to complete this leg. So I still have to look at Lydan 22 and Radan 22, and we'll do that very shortly. So I'm actually not looking too forward to unlocking all of these segments of space, and I'm glad that they don't all unlock at once, because it would be an awful lot to try to get through and cover it in these YouTube videos. Doing it in segments like this is by far enough to do it in this one part for these 4 systems, because there's that much running around here. Okay, so that's that section done there. We'll collect these rewards. And let's see what that does. So we've 1 out of 3 dark matter samples. This is clearly going to unlock the next stage of this augment space. So it's time now to visit Radan and Lydan. Presumably there's missions in one of each of these systems that has dark matter available, which will then unlock the further systems. I don't see anything around Rainsford, which was the first system. Nothing showing there in terms of missions, so that's complete. So it's down to Radan and Lydan now for the last bits in these 2 areas of augment space. And plenty of these corrupted data nodes around. Okay, so what's in Radan? 2 missions. On the Grapevine, which we need for the mission down in the other area, and outsourcing will be the next one. So this one has the dark matter, There we go with that. So let's take a look. Okay, so we might need to mine corrupted data. I should have that, and on the grapevine for the dark matter. So we set this Centurion off to do that, and let's relieve this ETS horizon of its load temporarily. So that's, we've mined 300 corrupted data. We'll get this ECS horizon back onto that node straight away. It's going on for a little longer than I would hope, but then there's plenty of these nodes, so there's no real fear that somebody's going to steal it while this horizon is sitting slightly off it. So there's a lot of big talk in this storyline. It's a bit like our server. Okay, so that horizon can comfortably sit there for another little while. So that forces us to go to Leydan anyway. And there's presumably a ship to kill there. So before we do that, we'll tackle this on the grapevine. So let me know, guys, if you like this style of kind of walkthrough, this detailed style of walkthrough, or would I be better reverting back to the tiny wee snippets, stick them all together, shorter video time, or talk through what I'm doing like this? $15,000 titanium is not what I like to see coming up for progressing mission lines. So this is nice little skipping around the system. I'd much rather just flick through the whole thing, to be honest with you, but again, very short distances away. So what happens on Ryza stays on Ryza, but not for these guys. So while I was recording this, guys, there was little incidents of freezing and things like that there. I tried to edit it out. Hopefully it comes across okay. And because it's taken so long, I'm debating with what to do with the next section. If I could do a long playthrough and possibly even do it as a live stream and invite all of you guys in to join me on the live stream as I progress this and play this, and that way then any of you guys that have completed it already can be prompting me to do it in a more efficient way or in a slightly different way to learn from any mistakes that are out there and what have you. And also then those of you guys who aren't at this stage yet can kind of benefit from seeing how it's done. I'm coming down with a bit of a head cold or a flu or something, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I was thinking about a live stream for this, but I don't know how I'll feel about that. So I'm thinking Easter Monday night I could schedule a long play. I could go and just do a very long play and a talk through of the next stage of missions. Do it for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it takes, and then schedule it for like 11 PM my time, which would maybe get all time zones and give people an opportunity to pop in and out of the chat. I could join you in the chat. If the head cold's not good enough and I'm not doing a live stream, I could join you guys in the chat and just interact, and we can discuss how I done it. It would be a pre-recorded version, of course, if I scheduled it. I'm not sure yet. I'll get this one up anyway. And if tomorrow night I feel well enough to do it, I could maybe do a live stream. But if you guys have comments in the meantime when I get this one up, let me know what your preference would be. Would it be a live stream, or would you be happy that I just done a playthrough, little editing, stuck it up as a scheduled event, and then joined you guys in the chat to discuss the various issues regarding this expansion? So there's a second dark matter done by completing that other set of missions. So this is one we looked at before. That's the plutonium one. And now, because we have On the Grapevine completed, we can take this on as well, which gives us more dark matter and some very nice ultra recruit tokens. And just in terms of content creation for this style of game, there's a lot here. Now there's an unknown objective popping up. That used to be a bug that was regular. It kind of, I didn't see it for a while. It's back. We'll see if that remains. That was a bit of a pain in the arse, that unknown objective bug. It was there for a long time, and it used to be the case that you just sent in a ticket, unknown objective, and they'd auto-complete those missions for you. Would save a lot of time and hassle. Not good for me trying to create content on it. When there's a locate button, it might be okay. Sometimes it'll be okay and it'll bring you to locate that, and then other times it's just no good. But when they auto-complete missions like that, it messed up my faction reputation, something terrible. Left me awfully in line with the Romulans and out of favour with like the Federation, and I had the Federation and the Romulan kind of nicely, finely balanced, and those autocomplete of those unknown objectives by support messed up my my Romulan reputation and my Federation reputation ridiculously. I've sent in a ticket and I've asked them to resolve this. I don't know if they will. It would be nice if I got some of my Federation reputation back. So there's that event, guys. Kill marauders and kill bounty hunters. The bounty hunters being the preferable one. So that debate that's out there, some people are now saying that you might be better off with the bounty hunters because you get the extra points. So if you've got low level bounty hunters coming after you, and you have a warship in the system, you can kill the bounty hunters and complete this event. Some people are suggesting that if you kill the bounty hunter with a warship, they may end up then even leaving you alone. But certainly this these bounty hunters coming after you would allow you to complete that event just by leaving a strong warship. Like for example, I go in that level 20 system, Rainsford, probably leave this Centurion sitting in that space with the bounty hunters coming after me, go to sleep, and that will just constantly accrue points for that event for me until the Centurion is destroyed or until I get back online and bring it home. So what do you guys think? I've got my first can token here. Looks like I can only get Augment credits, which then of course we spend in the faction store. Okay, so we're in Leydan. There's that ship I need to destroy. I'm gonna hit this Varan Marauder, level 21. These look like they're all battleships in this system. And again, plenty of corrupted data nodes available. Is it the same on your server, guys? Is there people jostling for these? Maybe our server's dying and it's gone quiet, so we actually don't have the player population to compete for these nodes. Is it like that on your server? So let's advance this line of mission on. And another ship has popped up here. Remember, this mission was picked up in the neighbouring system. In Radan, I believe. Okay. Okay, so giving out about pirates. If Rev Deuce is watching, my buddy Rev Deuce, check out his stuff, guys. But he's a bit of a pirate, and this doll's saying that pirates are cowardly and will tuck tail and run. So presumably Rev isn't too pleased with these Augment view on pirates. So beneath the heel, picked up there. So it's taking us back to Rainsford. So we need to take a ship back to our station to complete that outsourcing as well. Okay, so what are we looking at now? Interrogate the bounty hunter. Not too far away. Okay, so this bounty hunter is going to give up the goods. And we'll get this section of mission completed. Get a ship back to our station to complete the other mission as well. And see where we're at then. We should be getting close now to finalising this, getting the last of the dark matter and unlocking the next couple of the next couple of systems in this section of space. So Murasaki 312. Dark matter available. So 3 minutes to get there. Once again, the magic of editing. Abracadabra, and we're there. So there's some Black Ops Federation guys. Suggesting them just a minion of cans that was being hung out to dry. And he thinks he can disable this Centurion. Obviously not going to happen. Some strange kind of logic going on there. Not like the Federation, but he's a gone anyway. So back to Leiden. Fair enough. Let's collect these mission rewards. Thank you very much. There's the dark matter one completed as well. Okay. Collect the rewards for this. Volatile combinations. There's nice recruit tokens, augment points, and new paths unlocked. 5 new paths unlocked. Then automatically unlocks this next section of mission. So this will be the storyline that we will follow in the next video, guys, whether it be a live stream or a pre-recording. I'll see how much I can get done, and this is the mission storyline that's been opened up for Core Now Run, I think. We have to return a ship to our station and more plutonium for that Botany Bay Part 3. But the die is thrown. There's unknown objective coming up again. I hope this isn't going to be a feature. It was a pain in the ass the last time it used to happen regularly. We got that ship back to the station again, magically. So that's that section done, guys. Join me for the next section. Let me know if you'd like a live stream or if a pre-recording will do. I see how the health is and look into that tomorrow. But until then, all of you guys take care of yourselves. Give it a like if you like it and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. I appreciate all of yous watching. So until then, leave your feedback, join me on Discord, and I will catch all of you guys for Core Now Run and beyond in the next video. Appreciate it all. Cheers.